Today we're talking the 5 steps to becoming that INFJ. Every INFJ has this wish to become the person that they always wanted to be. There is this thing within us that tells us you have so much potential. There's this part of you that just needs to blossom. There's a part of you that needs to come out. I haven't met an INFJ who's not experienced this. You either are living it out or you feel it within yourself. And I can tell you from experience, I've been in both of those scenarios. I know being in a situation where I felt something has to happen in my life, I have to really step out of this shell. I have to become myself. And that was a thought that I had every single day, all the time. It was always in the back of my mind. And now I'm in a position where I don't have that feeling. I don't think about this. I don't feel it. And the reason for this is because I'm tapping into it. It's not that there's some kind of goal, that there's some kind of achievement that you feel and then you've made it. It's the moment you say that's it. It's the moment you start changing your life. It's the moment I started taking those steps. The first day I started taking them around 10 years ago when I felt that, when this change happened. And that's how you become that INFJ that you always wanted to be, that INFJ that's living their INFJ epic life on their terms. And today we're going to talk about the 5 steps to get there. Before we get started, I want to remind you the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp has launched and you have time until November 11th to join. That's when we have our first live call. There won't be any late admissions, so make sure that you join until then and join our amazing community of INFJs who are making all of their dreams come true. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Step 1 to becoming that INFJ is you have to learn your limits. When INFJs go through life, they always go at it from the perspective of what can I do in order to make myself valuable? How can I be a good friend, a good mentor, a good human being? And it's always based on what do other people need? How can I make life better for them? It's something that probably 99% of INFJs carry within themselves for the majority of their life. And the reason for this is because as children, we don't have another choice. If we feel that there is a person who doesn't accept us the way we are, we learn how to get their approval. We learn how to get their appreciation by being the version they need us to be. A lot of people cannot do that because they just don't have the skill set to understand what the other person needs, what the other person wants you to be. And so they learn to have other coping mechanisms. Our way is to be a chameleon. Our way is to, pretend to be the person that they want us to be because that's the way we're going to get approved. That's the way we're not going to get abandoned. That's what we learn as children because we have no other tools to survive this psychologically. And as adults, we keep playing that out. But the moment that really is a breaking point is the moment we recognize, I cannot do this anymore. I keep on giving and I keep on giving and it's never enough. And we really understand that if somebody is treating you badly or if somebody is not respecting you the way you want and need and deserve, they're not going to do that if you do more. So often we believe, I did the other person wrong. I wasn't a good friend. I was being selfish. That's why they're acting this way. And we recognize with time, we are human as well. We have so much empathy for other people who are not being perfect. Why are we not having that empathy for ourselves? Yes, there are going to be situations where we're selfish. Yes, there are going to be situations where we're not the best friend. Because guess what? We're human. We can't do everything right. And also, even if we could make everything right, we shouldn't. There are moments where it's all about us, and that's okay. That's part of what we need in order to feel alive, in order to feel fulfilled. We have to make sure we are whole. And so it's that breaking point when you recognize no matter what I do, I'm not going to get what I need, which is the feedback from the outside world, you're good enough. You're not going to get it because we subconsciously choose people who just mirror back to us over and over the situation and the person that didn't give us that validation when we were children. When all we wanted is for that person to say, you're good enough the way you are. We have to get to a place where we recognize, well, it did happen. I, as a child, didn't get the appreciation that I needed. This happened, and no matter what I experience now, it's not going to take that pain away. And back then, We just pushed that pain down because we couldn't really deal with it. We couldn't comprehend it. We couldn't heal it. Now we can. So once you get to this point where you say, I cannot keep playing this game anymore, like it just breaks me over and over again, we recognize that we're never going to get what we're looking for. And then you really learn your limit. You say, that's it. I have to deal with the fact that this pain happened. And as painful as it is, I can't pretend like it didn't. I can outrun it. And I actually have to face that pain. And once you face that pain, once you get to a place where you really allow yourself to feel it, you can heal from it. And that's when you get to the next place. Because once you get to a place where you recognize you're never going to get that validation that you're looking for, because that validation needed to happen when you were a child from that particular person, and that is done, you can finally move on and get to the next step. Step number 2, you learn to be independent. That's this typical hermit mode that we talked about in the last video. It's that period of your time when you learn, okay, I'd rather be disliked for who I am than to be liked for who I'm not. I'm going to be independent. I can deal with this. This is an uncomfortable space. I feel I'm alone. I feel like I'm living in Gotham City. There's this black cloud over me, but at least I'm taking steps forward. I understand that the only way to make my life better is for me to take action. I cannot wait for something to happen. I cannot wait for somebody to look at me and to say, I'm worth it. There is no reason in me pretending to be smaller or less capable in order to be accepted by other people and for them to sort of take me on their journey. I have to create that journey for me. And it's in that independent stage that we learn how to be okay with being by ourselves. Because if we're not okay with being by ourselves, if we're not okay with choosing ourselves, nobody else will ever want to join us either. We all want connection. We all want to have this human experience. But it can only happen in a way that is authentic to us, that feels real, if it happens from who we really are. And that isn't happening from what we can do for other people while, neglecting who we truly are. So often we seek out like those people here and there where we hope with that person I can be myself. What we don't recognize is that we're the ones who are not allowing ourselves to be ourselves all the time. Because we're so afraid of, people not accepting that. And we hope for this one outlet, for this one person who can finally get it. We are going to be the person who finally gets it. You can do this. You can do this on your own. And it has to be you doing this on your own, because everything that can happen from that, all the great things that can be built upon that, they all need you as a foundation. You have to choose you, and you have to say, I'm going to honor my life, my future, and I'm going to make the best out of what I can do with my toolbox. Step number 3, you learn how to create abundance and joy by yourself. So that doesn't mean you're not connecting with other people, but it means it starts with you. You learn what kind of music makes you happy. You learn what kind of hobbies make you excited. You do things that really bring you joy, that bring you abundance, that make you grow, that make you excited about life. Don't listen to all of those INFJ articles that tell you INFJs are just observers. They experience life through others. Yeah, of course we can. But it doesn't mean it has to be this way. Every time we do this, it's just a derivative of what we could actually experience. The real experience, the real excitement is created by us. Only you know what really makes you happy. Only you know what really excites you. And that doesn't mean that you have to know it now, but it means that if you start taking action and you experience things, you can distinguish between that's the path that is getting me to the next step. That is what brings me joy. This is what brings me excitement. This is what I'm going to lean into. And once an INFJ really goes through those phases of they understand, okay, I have found my limit. I'm not going to do the same thing I did all my life. I'm going to be okay being by myself. And then I'm even going to say to myself, how can I make tomorrow better? Like, even if life seems meaningless, even if life seems like it's no fun, it's still on me to make tomorrow better than today. And once you get to this mindset, guess what? every day keeps getting better. And before you know it, you don't even remember those days where everything was gray and dark. You remember them theoretically, you remember that it happened, but it doesn't feel this way because you're in charge of creating excitement, abundance, joy for yourself, by yourself, and then sharing it with other people. And that's when we get to step number 4. You learn how to share your true essence. Like, this is something that I still work on myself. I catch myself from time to time when I have people in my life that I respect and I want them to respect me, that I still hold myself back, that I don't show in parts that I feel people are going to judge. And in those moments, I really take my time and think about, is this something I want to continue doing? Because it's on me to continuously make choices that I deem as right. Do things that I'm comfortable with. Do things that make my life better. And there are going to be people who don't like that. And that doesn't even mean that those people don't deserve to be in your life. It's just that we don't dare to put that decision on them. So often we tell ourselves, okay, they're not going to accept this part of me, so I'm just going to hide it, right? And when you do this, you're actually creating this connection. You're not sharing your true essence with them. You may have a great relationship with them, but it's based on a version of you that is just a facade. Maybe not all of it. And again, as I said, this isn't an all or nothing thing. Like, we evolve, we learn, but I catch myself now more and more when I'm doing this. And then I can really look at it and say, what am I able to bring out that is really more and more me? Where I'm okay with the fact of, okay, let them make that decision if they're okay with that version of me. You're okay with people in your life who do things that you don't 100% agree with. You have people in your life that you love that do things that you would never do, just because they're different, but you accept them the way they are. And you have to give people the chance to make that choice for them. We have to get out of that mode of, I'm making those choices for other people because I already know they're not going to accept me. Let them make that decision. Some will accept it, some will not. But at least you're saying, I'm choosing me. The more we can do this, the better. With every single step we do, every single time we face those feelings of, oh, I'm going to get judged. Oh, I'm going to feel abandoned. We get to heal a lot of things that are going on because in the end, you're totally fine the way you are. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Those feelings of shame we carry within ourselves. And there's no overall, universal rule of the way you are is wrong. We're making those rules. So allow yourself to share your true essence more and more. It will open up so many things for you. And if you feel like, okay, I cannot really do that big of a step, take a small step. I always say we as INFJs, we have to find that balance of some place that gets you out of your comfort zone, but it doesn't overwhelm you. What is a step when it comes to sharing your true essence that you can handle? Where you feel like those feelings of judgment will come up, but you can deal with them. It's uncomfortable, but you're going to be okay. Let's not run from those feelings. Let's embrace them because you have to feel them in order to heal them. And once you do this thing won't be a problem anymore. You're able to tackle the next thing. And step number 5 to becoming that INFJ, you start investing in yourself. You start saying, my life is worth it. My happiness is worth it. I'm allowed to feel joy and happiness without thinking it through 50,000 times of why am I doing this? Is this really because I have, some internal thing that I'm going through? Or is it something that just excites you in that moment? Like, you really get to a place where you say, yeah, I can think about those things. This is part of who I am as an INFJ, but I'm going to do things because they feel good. I'm going to do things that will allow me to keep creating a better life for myself. And through that, you actually start doing things for other people as well. Because one part of you being the best version of yourself and you enjoying your life as an INFJ is to bring out your gift. There is no way around it. It doesn't mean that it's something that INFJs will do from the beginning or do it in a healthy way. So often we bring out our gifts in, relationships that are toxic or, we share it with people that don't appreciate them. But sharing our gift, sharing what we have to offer to the world, our unique ability of adding value to the world, that is something that for INFJs will come up one way or another. And the more you actually keep improving your life in all areas, you have more energy, your finances are in good shape, your friendships are getting better and better, you finally having those tough conversations with people in your life that you always used to walk on eggshells for. The more you do this, the more peace of mind you have, the more mental load you have free, the more you will want to tap into this gift. And so it's investing in yourself and in your future that really makes the biggest difference in, becoming that INFJ who really enjoys their life. If you remember one thing from this video, it's that INFJs need that action part. We're not the types that need to focus on thinking things through, on mindset work. Like, we're doing this already. And I'm not saying do less of that, but those things will happen naturally because it's our tendency. It's what we love to do. What we should aim to do is take actions in the areas that will bring our life forward. And that is the main thing we do in bootcamp. We focus on the areas that are most important for INFJs, and we're doing this on our terms. Every single person decides that for themselves. Where am I at? How much energy do I have? What do I want to take on next? And so it becomes like this incredible community of INFJs who continuously do the work because it is lifetime access. So once you're in it, you're automatically enrolled for free for every single future bootcamp. And so many INFJs keep coming back, which shows me this is working. People are getting to a new phase in their life and they're ready to take the next upgrade. So I really hope to see many of you in our first live call and in this bootcamp round. The first live call will be on Saturday, November 11th. Everything you need to know you can find in links in the description. I really hope to see you there. And if you want to watch a video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on the 5 reasons why INFJs don't fit in but stand out.